today will be a canning day. I have all these plums. I have all these plums. Now we've been harvesting off our plum tree for about 3 or 4 weeks, taking off daily, and it's been, you know, what we could eat and each day, and it's been awesome. But everything on the tree was ripe, so we had to harvest the whole tree. And I've got all these cucumbers that I'm going to be making some fermented pickles. So I have got a lot of prep work, and I better get started because this is going to be a long day. That's this time of year. If you have a garden, especially a large garden, you can't eat everything you grow, so you're going to be doing a lot of canning, fermenting, drying, and freezing. If you have as many plums as I have right now, you want to find recipes, not just for the sake of making recipes, recipes that you will use. So I will be making some plum jam, as well as right now I'm going to be making the Chinese plum sauce. This is very good on your egg rolls, your dumplings, with a lot of your Chinese food. So this is a very good use of the plums that I'll be using. I have already chopped up my plums. You need 10 cups of chopped plums. Now I like a smooth sauce, so I put it through the blender. And now what you'll do is you will put your brown sugar. That's 2 cups of brown sugar, 1 cup of sugar, tablespoon of ginger, and this isn't dried ginger, this is fresh ginger that you've ground up, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of, you can use an Anaheim pepper, you can use the New Mexico, you know, the hatch chili peppers. You can use jalapenos if you like it a little spicy. I am using an Anaheim chili right now. 3/4 cup of onion. And 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds. Along with a cup of apple cider vinegar. And a teaspoon of salt. Excuse me for a minute. Okay, I had that right the first time. It is a tablespoon of salt. If you have any question, always check your recipe. Okay. Now this, I'm gonna put on medium high. On my stove, it's about a 6. And you have to stir this constantly until it comes to a boil. You stir it constantly because you don't want those sugars to burn. It'll give your sauce a really bitter taste. Okay, you can see that that's boiling. Good rolling boil. Now we will add the plum sauce. I have 10 cups of plums that I've put through a blender. I'm going to pour that right in. Now, this is going to cook for about 1.5 hours. It really depends on your plums and how juicy they are. It could take a little longer because what we're wanting is for this to cook down. We want it to get thick, you know, really syrupy and thick. So what you'll do is you will cook it down to the consistency that you would desire for it to be. But I mean, it'll be at least an hour, but usually about an hour and a half. And these are some really juicy plums, so it may take a little longer than that. At this point, you do not have to stir constantly, but you do have to stir occasionally. I mean, you really want to stay up on it. You don't want to go away and forget what you're doing. Just like when making jam, you want to be right here on it. And I know that that takes an hour and a half, and that's an awful long time to be tied to a pan, but this is a good time to really clean your kitchen, or even, you know, sit down and read a book right here by the stove and getting up every few minutes to stir it. So whatever you desire to do, do that. And give this about an hour and a half to get thick and syrupy and delicious. Okay, so mine had to cook for almost 2 hours. But that's because they were just so juicy. So juicy good. And I know you can't see on this, so see how thick that is? I mean, of course it's hot, so I can't put my finger across it, but that is just thick and wonderful. And that's how you want to get it. You want to get it thick and syrupy. And then you just fill up your jars. And I'm going to put it in the smaller jars because I want it for the serving for the meal. I don't want to have a lot of leftovers because it's not something that we use a lot, but it is something that we will use throughout the year and often, but not every week, maybe once a month. So I'm going to use the little jars, although I do have some of the next size up just in case. And so I'm going to get the jars filled up. Okay, so I ended up needing 3 of the extra jars, so it was a good thing that I had the extras. I always do that because you never know how your product is going to turn out. Some have more moisture than others. You never know. You may need that extra. This time I needed that extra. You need to do a 1/2 inch headspace. And in case you don't know, on the end of your little canning utensil, you go up to the 3rd set. They're like stairs. And if you go up to this 3rd one underneath, that's going to be a 1/2. So you just check to make sure you've got a 1/2 on all of them. Which I do. Then you want to make sure that there's no air bubbles in. Just kind of go through with the other end of it. That's what the other end is for. Then you put your lid on. Get it on straight, and just till it grabs hold, and then push it a little. I don't lift it up. That way I'm not getting it too tight. Okay, there was just enough room to get all of them in. And something that I've mentioned before, if you're using your pressure canner as your water bath, you do not have to get it totally under the water, just to the shoulder. Now, of course, the smaller jars are underwater, and actually the larger jars are just underwater, but you just need to get it to the shoulder if you're using your pressure canner. 20 minutes. Put the lid on and we'll be good to go. So there we go, 20 minutes in the water bath. Let it sit down for 10 minutes to come to temperature. Took off the lid, let it set another 5 minutes, and here they are. They were popping as I brought them out, so they've all got good seals. You do not want to tighten your lids once you get them out. And so I'm going to let this sit here until in the morning,
Then I'll remove the rims and I'll wash the jars, label them, and get them put in the pantry.